Good evening. Welcome to Professor and the Hammer podcast with our special guest tonight, Amir Tyson. For you who don't know, Amir Tyson is Mike Tyson's son, an up-and-coming combat martial arts, everything. This guy does everything. We're going to get deep into the new stuff he's into, the broadcasting, the commentating he's going to be doing. So let me bring in first my co-host, Mr. Richard Cloudhammer. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, did you put this on Facebook yet?
We are. I just got an error message.
Yeah.
We have trouble streaming Facebook. It says it's on Facebook's end. It's possibly the stream was
it's going right now. No, it's fine.
Is it running right now?
Yeah, there we go.
All right. Yeah, and tonight's the first night we are streaming live on YouTube. So
Nice.
yeah, we're getting moving on up. We get special guests, we get special privileges, and that's going on YouTube for us. So how you been, buddy? Good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just living life. I mean, just nothing really new to report here. I'm trying to think. Nothing's really happened in the past week, man. I've been like super low key.
We literally this is probably the longest we've gone without speaking since we started to know each other.
Yeah.
Because like I haven't spoken to you in 4 days because of allergies and busy and and Team Jacal keeping me busy, all-time high in students right now. So we're rocking and rolling.
The only thing I've done is watch a movie, and that was
I hate you.
What?
Because of my schedule.
Dude,
You're sitting here watching a movie.
It took me 3 days to watch it. Like The Harder They Fall. I've been talking about it. It's so dope.
Yeah, I saw it on your feed today.
Unbelievable.
I went through a full tank of gas last weekend driving from sports. So there you go, buddy. But
so I thought I had this bright idea to put like this cinnamon bun ice cream in my coffee to make it flavored. It's a really fancy ice cream like Jenny's, which is really nice.
Yep.
Well, there's fucking like chunks of Cinnabon in there. So it like is now just like flavorless sponge that's floating in my coffee. And I thought I could spit out, and it keeps getting in my fucking mouth. It's so gross. Sorry. Okay, we could bring in my man because I don't want to keep him waiting any longer.
Yeah, we listen, buddy. Like in case anyone's wondering, we are super excited. Not only is this person's father a local legend over here, worldwide legend, but this is one of the up-and-coming guys in martial arts in terms of commentating. He has his own clothing line. The list goes on and on and on. We welcome him to the show, Amir Tyson. What's going on, buddy?
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, man, I can't wait.
Coming, man.
No problem.
We were talking before the show. This is the first and only guest I've ever actually done research on. Because normally it's usually some local that we're like we've known for like 10 years that we're doing the interview on.
Yeah. Or it's like whatever, I'll talk about whatever I want because my show. And then now I'm like, we got it. Okay, let's see what this dude's been doing. He's actually been out there living life and doing big things. So
I'm trying out there, man. I'm trying to do it.
So Amir, we were talking before. You are out of Maryland right now, right?
Yeah, I'm based in Maryland. I was born and raised in Bethesda, Maryland, and my mom still lives here. My family still lives here. So when I'm in the area, I still have a condo here just to like hang out, see people from, childhood and family. So I'm here right now.
Awesome, man. That's great, man. I was talking to your manager, aka mom, and yeah, man, and man, you live a busy schedule, bro. Like
all over
the flights, like. It was funny because we were trying to connect to schedule something. You just like finally you just gave up. You're like, yo, talk to my manager and she'll schedule everything.
I wanted her to organize it right. I didn't want to be like back and forth. And I just saw the text. I'm like, let me just let her handle it. And now we're here.
Yeah, I live on my phone. And it's funny because like I was talking to Rich about this. The first time I reached out, like you texted me back like 3 days later. I was just like, oh, he's not doing this. He doesn't want to come on here. And then like 3 days later, you hit me up. I'm like, oh, wow. I'm like, okay, listen, reset your ideas of like literally Rich will text me, I'll text him right back almost before I even receive it. Like that's how much I'm on my phone.
Yeah.
So I know people are not like that, but why don't you give me a rundown of all the stuff that you're involved in right now?
All right. Right now, I'm a combat sports commentator. I just, combat sports is a passion of mine. I love talking about it. I've been around it. So MMA, boxing, just combat sports in general, like I have a great passion for it, So I'm doing that stuff. I act too a little bit. I might be acting in some movies. I will be acting in some movies in the summer. I'll film them, but I can't really talk about it too much. I do a bunch of different things. Like I had a party promotion thing in Miami for the F1 event. I have a clothing line.
Was that crazy busy or what? It seemed like that was insane.
That was crazy. Crazy.
That gets everybody from the whole world. I mean, that's one of the most popular sports. Like,
yeah, it was packed. It was packed. It was a good event. I had a lot of fun, but I have a clothing line too. I just do a bunch of different things. I try to keep myself busy.
Debonair, it's called, right? Is that how you say it?
Debonair attire, yeah.
That's cool. That's awesome. The crown is really dope.
Thank you. See, that's why we're friends. Because I said the same thing.
Yeah,
it's super clean.
That's my favorite style of stuff is when it's just like not overdone and it's just like the message is super simple and it's just like that's dope. But Nelson, I think we're having trouble with this broadcasting, to be honest with you. So if you look
what's up? That, I just checked it. It was working.
It looks like it's working on mine too, but other people are saying it's not. Okay, whatever. I mean, it's on
YouTube. We'll repost it on
YouTube. All right,
YouTube.
cool. Yeah, whatever. I'm just whatever. Yeah, sorry. Keep going.
But
speaking of, did you see the movie? You said you're acting. I just watched this movie last night, and I'm like really excited about it. Because the Harder They Fall. Did you see that on Netflix?
No. What's
my
that?
God,
dude, who's acting in that?
It was like Guy Ritchie and Quentin Tarantino had a baby, and like they made Django Unchained, but like more. It was Idris Elba. Who's the dude? Kang? Jonathan Majors?
Yeah, the guy in Creed.
I saw the trailer for that.
Bro, it was so much fun. I'm like, I wanted to be a director when I was younger because of Tarantino and like Guy Ritchie. Like this was like so much. It was like back to those type of movies where it was just like exciting, good pacing, colorful, like fun. Like I don't know. And it was like a little bit of a Quick and the Dead. Remember that movie?
No, not that movie. But I know
I'm old.
He's not as old as us, bro.
I know, that's right.
I know the Tarantino classics. I know all of them, but I didn't know that.
Oh, Quick and the Dead was like a cowboy movie, but it was super dope. It had like Leonardo DiCaprio was like 16 in it, but like it was freaking awesome. But I recommend it. That was a fun movie too. Russell Crowe was in that, like back in the. But anyway, I was just.
It's funny, Amir, because I saw you act. I didn't know who you were. Was in that Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So when I was looking at stuff, I watched that Super Bowl commercial again. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. So that was like that was my freshman year of college. I was like 18 at the time. I'm 25 now. I was 18, and my dad was just like, the Michael and Son people were just like asked him to do a commercial, and they were gonna bring a fictional son. And he was just like, hell no, I'm not doing this unless I do it with my real son. It's corny if I don't do it with my real son. So that's how we did it, and I was on the Super Bowl halftime. Cool.
That's wild. That's gotta be cool to see that. That's like everybody in the world saw that. At one point.
And I was in college too, so I was just like feeling
good for the social life. Yeah, 100%. You're like, you might have saw me this weekend. Yeah.
I was happy about that.
If you didn't, by the way, my dad's Mike Tyson. So.
Yeah,
Oh my God. So I saw you went to American College, right? In DC. My brother actually went there for a semester a long time ago.
Okay.
He did an internship down there. What a nice set of campuses down there with Georgetown and American. It's such a nice area. Is it still super nice down there?
Yeah, it's like you have AU, you have GW, and you have Georgetown. It's like all the little. It's like a college little hub in DC. It's like they're all kind of close together in the way. And like people.
It's kind of like our city, but nice. It sounds like good colleges.
It's cool, but like
no offense. Anyway.
It's like I'm born and raised in DC, so like I was just like it's whatever. But everyone else was excited about the monuments and memorials, and I was like, I could give a damn. I'm like, I don't care.
I would like to see them in Fallout 3 as a nerd game, but like they were awesome in Fallout 3. But
just to kind of touch on the face. For some reason, Facebook is having issues, and it's on their end according to the error message. So I just reposted everything on YouTube. YouTube's working fine and viewing fine, and we have one person viewing, so we'll just have to show everyone in the YouTube videos. But
I think that's me.
yeah, like we're not gonna really need to have anyone comments because we're gonna have so much to talk about.
For sure.
What during my research, man, I looked at how close are you to all your siblings? Because you have a bunch of stepsisters and brothers, and
yeah, I have a lot of siblings. So basically, my bad, I'm getting over a cold.
Yeah, I got allergies too, bro. Don't worry about it.
Last couple of days have been bad, but I'm getting better now. But my first sister, I'll name them all right now, because friends, girls I've talked to, I always have to give them the rundown of my family history.
Yeah, I got you.
So Gina, this is my oldest sister. That's what my mom and her previous boyfriend. Then it was Mikey, like my dad and his girl at the time, and then my mom and him had Raina, and then me, and then Miguel was for my dad and another woman from Phoenix. Her name is Shelly, and then he has 2 currently with his new wife, Morocco Milan. So that's all my siblings for you right there. A lot.
And it's amazing. They are all super successful in their own like lane. Like I know when I was watching the video, your one sister has been doing some modeling. Your biological sister, she was involved in the movie Joker.
Yeah, she was like, Todd Phillips, right? The guy from Joker. So him and my dad are real cool. So he was just like, my sister she's like a behind the scenes type. She's like a director. Type, helps.
That was pretty cool, man. They listed some of the movies that she did.
Yeah. Are you close with your siblings?
Yeah, I'm real close with all.
That's
we
awesome.
all have a relationship. We're all cool, no problems.
Do you guys ever do like family reunions and stuff like that?
I was just in Boca because I was in Miami for the F1 thing, and I live in Boca now. So I was with my brother Miguel, Morocco, Milan. We were all together for a bit. Not everyone was there, but for that, family.
Well, dude, you got like 9,000 siblings. It's almost impossible to get them all together. But that's awesome, man. Because like I got 2 brothers, and they're everywhere. The one's in no longer in California, it's in Texas, and the other one's in Indiana. And like, I'll see once a year, maybe twice a year if I'm lucky. So that's great that you get to have that many times together. That kind of stuff.
I'm busy too. I don't see him all the time, but like I cherish the times I do.
Yeah, absolutely.
The comment thing, you did Triller with Pacquiao. That must have been pretty cool.
Yeah, right? I've done 4 events with Triller. I did Triller Sons of Legends, then I did that one, and then I did 2 other Triller events. And then right now I'm doing a commentary thing called Total Combat League.
Yep, I saw that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's a real interesting new concept. It's like they have a woman's featherweight 126, then they have a 135, 147, 160, 175, 201, and you just have like 3 sets of 2. Like you have New York versus Atlanta, Dallas.
That's awesome. So they're teams.
And then LA versus you know what I mean. And then
that's super cool.
You have like a special scoring. It's a new thing, and it's
they had that back in the late 90s, early 2000s. They had, remember, like Renzo Gracie.
There was a team thing. Remember that? It was I forget exactly.
Middleton, Chad team.
Yeah.
They're all 1 round each. Like they do a round, then it's like the next person comes in and they do a round.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's
I like
cool.
that.
So it's like every fresh would go 100% and just leave it.
I should watch it. I have one on Thursday.
Well, definitely. Yeah.
How do you watch it?
You just type in Total Combat League. They have their own YouTube page and everything.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely want to watch that because I'm gonna be in Atlantic City doing nothing, so I'll watch that. Definitely for sure watch that.
Yeah, I want you to see it so you understand it. You can be like, okay, this is what he meant.
Amir, what was it like growing up? I mean, clearly everyone in the world knows your father. I mean, your father is one of the most recognizable people in the world. Like, was there positive, negatives? Like, how was that growing up?
It was interesting because like that was just my life, right? Mm-hmm. And then I remember I think it was like his second to last fight or his last fight. I saw a bunch of cameras and everything like that, and I was just like, okay, so my dad's an important figure to a lot of people. And it started clicking a lot more.
My dad's different.
Well, I was gonna say, so like, I grew up like
I'm seeing people I don't really idolize and like look superstar. Like I'm not like as a kid because I'm an adult now, but like people I would be starstruck about would be starstruck towards him. So I was like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? But like, as you get older, you start understanding like, okay, yeah, it's a different situation.
That's what I mean. Like one of the top 10 moments of my life was meeting your dad. Like he had like a really cool talk with me and stuff. I fought in front of him. I got beat up in front of him, so that wasn't the coolest part of it. But at the same time, he like pulled me aside and talked to me about it, and was like a cool heart to heart. And I'm like, fucking Mike Tyson just literally singled me out and pulled me aside. Like that was like amazing to me. And I'm like, I grew up like watching his fights. Like that was the only thing me and my dad bonded over. Like we didn't get along, but watching like Mike Tyson fight. And I'm like, and I was thinking about it today. I'm like, and this fucking dude just like off my dad. Like I was like, when did he realize that it's like this dude this is his dad? Like probably one of the. I mean, I think, and this is I've said it before, one of the most like iconic figures in human history. Like everybody in the world knows him. There's like Mike Tyson, Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson. I think are like the three probably most prolific figures that I can think of off the top of my head that people know.
Well, those are the three Mikes with Biggie and Jay-Z. They reference in the song back.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. And it's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's awesome. And then, but it's like that's like I couldn't think of like you can go to any country, people know who that is, and it's like at one point in time you had a phase where you're like, holy fuck, like my dad is like.
Yeah, around 2004, 2005, 2006, like around that age is when I started realizing, like, oh, like this is a different, the normal life.
Yeah. I have a really silly question. Do you guys ever watch Rocky together?
I mean, we've watched
it. I don't know why I stuck my head earlier. Like, because
I only like the first four Rocky though, man. I don't like the five.
No, you're right. What about Creed?
First four.
What about Creed?
I like Creed was cool. But like to be honest,
this guy fucking loves Creed. It's all he talks about is that movie.
I like Creed, but you know what I didn't like about the third one? How he just like ditched his boy and like never messaged him, never talked to him. Like I kind of looked at him different after I'm just like, what kind of friend is that? Like he just did a whole
he's Deontay Wilder. Just like, peace, I need a new camp.
Yeah, like at least check in or be like, do you need any money? Like something. That's what a normal person would do. But that was kind of lame.
It's kind of like someone just. It's kind of like someone just running off to Georgia and starting a new life down there by themselves.
Yeah, I'm coming back, okay? I'm coming back, man. I moved to Georgia last year, and I'm coming. So listen, I stay in contact every week.
I give this guy a new identity and a self-worth, and then he moves on.
Something like that. But like, that was just how the movie was. But I liked the movie. The movie was cool.
I maybe he never brought it up. Whatever. How come your dad never did a movie like that? Like, like a boxing movie, or
he did Hangover.
What's that?
He did Hangover.
He did Punch the Guy. That was the best part of that movie. But like, I don't know, like it's funny that they had Rocky during that era when he was just purely dominant, and like he would have been an awesome villain. I mean, he would have been so great, or a mentor.
I think this is what it was, right? I'm thinking like Rock. What was it? Remember when Rocky fought like Antonio Tarver?
I was just gonna say that would have been when he could have fit in that.
Yeah, but listen to this. This is when my dad was pretty wild and unpredictable and everything. So like Sylvester Stallone and everyone was just like, oh, they're real cool now, but they were just there. They were like, oh shit, like if we say, I guess there was a little apprehension because it was a wild time and stuff like that. But he was in the crowd. They got him in the crowd, but he did a little thing. But like now that he would probably get a bigger part and everything. But times but like.
And I don't want to make this totally about your dad, but it's hard not to. The ups and downs that he's had through your lifetime, like when he was on the airplane not too long ago, he punched that guy in the face.
I mean, that guy had it coming. Like you can't just
100%. Like
I do the same thing. You guys probably do the same thing.
1,000%, man. I remember. Like I'm glad that. I was like super glad about like the public perception that everybody agreed that like, oh, that was cool. And I'm like, fucking finally, like that's sensible.
All you got to do is just like, hey, nice to meet you. Take a picture, talk for a little bit if you want to. If the vibe is like that, then like, okay, go to your airplane, see like anyone else. Like, and then he just kept on drinking, throwing stuff.
That happened at the bar recently too. That oh man, it was another professional fighter. The guy kept fucking with people and the dude knocked him out at the bar and they ruled it self-defense because the guy like flinched at him like that, and the professional fighter was like, "It's like, why are you fucking with people if you can't? I mean, why would you do that anyway?"
Just let him get a drink, vibe with friends. Let him meet girls. They click without a bar or something. But like, why you want to start a fight?
And like, even if you're trying to entice that, why, man? Did you not see the Roy Jones Jr. fight? The man can still crack. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let that guy go away.
Jones, by the way, he's fighting like this bodybuilder type of. Who is that guy he's fighting?
Oh, he just fought Anthony Pettis.
Media guy.
He just fought Pettis, and he's fighting somebody else now too. I saw that. It's is it Cal Green? No, Kai Green? No.
He's like a social media guy who got viral on social media, and he's fighting a legend like Roy. I'm like, he shouldn't even be in the ring with someone like.
Oh man, that's scary. It's like,
oh man, but so you like, how did you get into combat sports? I mean, obviously, was there pressure on you to go into boxing? Like we talked before about the Logan Paul thing, about how that kind of caught some traction about you fighting Logan Paul.
Listen, right? I wanted to box when I was younger, and but my mom, because my parents got divorced, and I lived with my mom. I grew up, my home base was with my mom, but I was still cool with my dad. Like we still saw each other, everything was still cool. But I grew up with my mom, and my mom was just like, oh, she didn't want me to be a boxer, so she just pushed me towards like basketball, baseball, football, all that stuff. But I always wanted to. And then my dad was like, always say like, I took the punches for my kids, so they didn't have to and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna lie and say I never wanted to. I definitely did.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I respect where they were coming from. You know what I'm saying?
One of my favorite lines from Shaquille O'Neal is, this family already has a basketball player. I don't need another basketball. I need a lawyer. I need a doctor. I need an accountant. I need this, that, and other thing. And I'm sure, I mean, boxing, especially now, we start looking at the CTE and all that, like, no one wants that for their kids, man. Like,
not at all. And that was like his only option. Like, it was blank. It was just, Catskill, New York. Like, if that didn't work out, he'd be in Brooklyn right now or something. Like, you never know.
Yeah, Brownsville.
Like with his, his success, and I'm very grateful for that. Because he came from like the gutter to like give, the first generation to like be good, because him and the generations before were like all in poverty. So I'm glad that he did something for himself.
Yeah.
The future generations, great.
Do you think?
Selfishly, I'm glad he did it too, because it's like the greatest fighter I've ever seen. So.
Yeah, no, right?
I couldn't hear.
Oh, I said selfishly, I'm glad he did it too, because he's like my favorite fighter of all time. So it's like the greatest thing I've ever seen. So, Do you think he gets the credit he deserves for being such a smart boxer? Like it's amazing when he.
It's like Tank Davis. I know what you're gonna say, so I'm about to answer. It's like Tank Davis, right? No one really watches his skills because he has such dominant power.
100%.
And power just like makes people forget everything else. But like you have to have those skills in order to get that power. Like, but people forget that because they're like, everyone's in awe of like the power knockout punch. That's how it is.
Yeah. I watched a video recently, him with Henry Cejudo, and
I like Henry. Henry's a nice guy.
Oh man, Henry's great. Yeah. I think his like his act is a little corny sometimes, but like
he likes being a cornball, right?
I think so. Right. I think he's trying. I think he leaned into it. I think at first it was like
it's the Kobe Covington,
and then he leaned into it. It got him more popular. So,
but when you watch Henry coaching John Jones, you're like, wow, this dude is fucking brilliant. And then you watch Henry work out with Mike Tyson, and you're like, wow, Mike Tyson is smarter than Henry Cejudo. And I'm just like he doesn't get the credit because he was just so ferocious, and he looked like he beat 90% of people before he even walked in the ring. Like, you know what I mean? And
people forget, like, it's just like, in order to unleash power punches and stuff, unless you're like a person with a lot of mass, like let's say like a George Foreman or something, like you know what I mean? Someone like 6'5", this big, like you have to like, he hit harder than George because he combined it with speed. You know what I mean?
And angles, the way he would pop into it.
But like, unless you're like, if you're not like George Foreman, like boom, like one little tree trunk punch, like you're out. Like you got to have the skills in order to like, skills pay the bills. And then you unleash that power from there. You know how.
Yeah. So who's obviously, other than your father, who's your favorite boxers all time?
Dude, the most Underrated. Okay, the most underrated fighter of all time, in my opinion, is Lennox Lewis.
Yep.
I think he's the boxer that gets the least credit because he was in my dad's shadow. You know what I mean?
He was in the aftermath of when your dad left the sport.
That was, I'm going to say that fight made me the angriest and most upset I've ever been in.
And there's nothing that Lennox could do because even if he did beat him, it's like, oh, you beat a washed up, like not my version. So it's like you would just like, it's like Larry Holmes with Ali. You have such a charismatic figure like that transcends sports, like Ali. Everyone's like, oh, Holmes who? Like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? It was sort of like that.
I think Lennox's style too was so smart. He really played to his skill, so people don't like seeing that because he just was so big, so long, and just used that jab. And he had a lot of other skills too. I'm not saying that, but he played to his strengths. That wasn't exciting at the time. Everyone to see knockouts and punch, And Lennox had crazy power, but it's just like he used skill.
Yeah, and he was like a nice like tea drinking.
Yeah, that's right.
The crazy thing is though. Imagine if Mike was heavyweight size in height, like in length and width. Like you look at like all those guys are 6'5", 6'6". Even Fury now is what 6'9".
Yeah, even Usyk's an inch taller than me, and not, like he's considered short.
I mean, could you imagine if Mike was 6'6", 6'5" back in the day?
But what's crazy is like I'm walking around like I'm not a small person.
Like, his size like helped him, that. Like, you know what I mean? So like,
I think for his style, 100%.
If he was like 6'2", 6'3" in this era against all those guys, like he would have been doing the same peekaboo. Like, you know what I mean? So like,
it's funny. We shout out to Kenny Pompey, who used to be our striking instructor at my school, and he used to teach the Tyson combo, he called it, and I didn't understand it because so he either right or left, doesn't matter, right hook to the body, same hand uppercut, left hook or right hook to finish it off. I watched your dad's top 10 knockouts all time, and like 8 of them is that combo, and I'm just like, god damn, like it don't matter if you see it coming. It's always unstoppable.
Some Catskill like customado things.
Yeah. I have a question to segue a little bit different. Like, so you're doing Cage Wars. I know Philadelphia, right?
Yeah, I think it's June 4th, I believe. What is it?
June 3rd.
June 3rd, June 4th.
And then you just get your manager tells you to show up this time, and you just show up. You're like, I think it's June something, but like, you got a million things going on. I'm teasing. And then are you doing this? You're doing the other Cage Wars in Schenectady too, possibly? You said.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I'm talking with him right now. The person that got us in touch.
Yep.
And we're just going from there. I'm down to do.
That's cool. That's awesome. So you're spreading out. So you're trying to be like, you're doing commentating or in-ring kind of.
Commentating, but also I could report and commentate. Just do a bunch of things. Like how awesome. Larry Merchant was commentating, but he would also stuff like this, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome, and it sucks. I'm not going to be here I'm not going to be in either one. I'll be traveling for both times. But if you come back for September, we'll definitely hook up. We'll take you some good spots in the area.
Yeah, it's really good food.
My dad's never shown me upstate New York like that. I've only seen like Brooklyn when he grew up. He never took me to upstate. But when I did,
there's a reason, man. It ain't that nice.
Camille Ewald, Customado's wife.
Yep.
Yeah. So like his partner, they never got married, but they were like partners.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I would go visit her until she died around like 2002. But like I was so young. Like, I don't even remember any like.
She lived in the Catskills at the time still?
Yeah,
it's really nice area there. It's a little south of our city.
I have no memory of it.
Yeah.
Like I've been there.
I mean, come to Albany during the summertime. It's summertime. It's fun stuff to do. Whatever.
2-month window of it being fun.
January, February suck here. It's cold. It snows
like 10
a
feet
lot.
of snow. Yeah.
No. Oh, you guys are close to Buffalo and stuff.
No, dude, I don't either. That's why I'm dreading moving back. I moved to Georgia for a reason. I got to move back for other reasons.
You're moving back just in time for it to start to suck.
Yeah, I know.
Damn. Georgia has like that heat, and it's like good sun right now.
Bro, I love it. It's beautiful. Like it is. I don't mind the heat. Like I like the oppressive humidity. Like it's better than snow. I think about it is like this isn't snow. Every time I'm like, oh, it's hot. I'm like, this isn't snow. Now I gotta go back. But
like my sister Raina, you know, but she's like she likes snow, cold, stuff like that. I'm like, I'd rather be by like the beach and like
man, it's like this is
like
what we're meant to be.
Everyone's different. Everyone's different.
I'm built for the cold. I can't stand it up here. So we talked about you're gonna be involved in cage wars and whatever at that. Where do you want to go with this? Like, what's your goal? What's your ideas? Like,
I want to be the voice of combat sports, boxing, MMA, kickboxing, everything. I just have I'm so passionate about combat sports. It's my favorite type of sports. Like, you know, I love basketball, football, baseball too. Don't get me wrong, but like obviously the passion isn't the same. But I know those sports too. I like sports in general. But boxing, MMA, Muay Thai, kickboxing, I just love.
So do you think like an ESPN type of job would be like your ultimate goal, your ultimate job?
Yeah, eventually, yeah. Just like Showtime, ESPN, anyone that does like commentary just for boxing, even like MMA organizations. Like I just want to do different things. I don't want to put an egg in one basket, one position. I just want to do different things and see what comes out of it.
Yeah, man. You look at guys like John Anik for the UFC. Man, that guy worked for ESPN, and then when Goldie left the UFC to go to Bellator, he got hired in. He was like the third announcer or whatever. That guy is now considered to be like the greatest commentator like of UFC ever now. Like that guy is so highly revered, and now it's back with ESPN again. Like you just never know where the right job at the right time will take you.
100%.
Yeah, man. And so have you ever trained any other sports other than like some boxing here and there or
so like that what other sports I participated in?
Yeah. Like jiu-jitsu, judo, Muay Thai.
So growing up, I was big in baseball, big in basketball, big in football. I never really did combat sports other than like working out like a UFC gym or like one of the gyms to work out. But like I'm still an avid fan. But like the sports I really did were like the main three sports. And I played varsity all three in high school.
Who's your basketball team?
Basketball team? Oh, my favorite team?
Yeah.
But
there we go. We can keep this going.
And I'm not saying it because of what's going on. I'll let Kobe.
Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
Doesn't get the credit he deserves. He was the GOAT before there was a GOAT.
6'9" doing all that, man. That's just crazy, man.
Yeah, I was a child of the 80s. Don't be stuffy. You're a Phoenix Sun fan. I know.
I blew a kiss to my son. I didn't stuff anything.
Sure, you did.
I'm a Lakers fan for life now, bro. Since Steve Nash went there.
But, Suns just got kicked out, right? Devin and Kevin didn't do their thing this year.
No. So listen, I was a Suns fan until I gave up sports because I cried when Steve Nash got checked by Robert Horry. Do you remember that? And they lost the playoffs. My life was ruined. I was like a diehard Suns fan, and I was like deep depression. I'm like, I gotta stop following sports. This is not healthy. Like I was like devastated. I'm like,
you stop liking sports? That's hilarious.
I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm like, I'm way too vested. And I came back. Like I always kind of like I like the storyline of it. And I came back when LeBron went to Cleveland, and I'm like, all right, this is a great story. I want to see this dude fucking pull it off, and he did. And that was like one of the coolest storylines. Like that. Connor winning the world title.
He was hated in Cleveland for a long time.
Yes, but when he came back,
remember when the owner said that he ran away like a slave in the night? How that dude is allowed to still own that organization is amazing.
Damn, that's crazy.
He said that we went to the Heat, and then he took him back, and they won a title, and everyone's like, I don't remember that.
Yeah, they go with the moment, you know. Oh, he's back like nothing ever happened. But that's I didn't know he's.
Oh, that's crazy.
You know, listen. I'm a huge basketball fan.
Right.
Number one is Michael Jordan. 100%, no doubt in my mind. Number two is Kobe Bryant. You can read all the statistics you could want to read. I know what I saw. I
feel you.
And number three is LeBron. And it's funny because I've always had this up and down relationship with LeBron. I was a huge LeBron mark when he was coming out of high school. You know what I mean? I'm just like, this dude looked like he was 30 when he was 18 years old in high school. He had the NBA ready body, which no one has ever saw at that point.
I remember very vividly when he was coming up on the scene. I was just like, wow.
I remember his high school games were on ESPN. I remember I was like, "What is going on here? Like, this is nuts."
Exactly.
That's my first memory of like LeBron. I mean, like this guy's getting compared to Michael Jordan already.
Yeah, and then
What?
Of all the people in the world who have been compared to Michael Jordan, Harold Miner, Vince Carter, he's the only guy that's even we can have a legit conversation is as good or better than Jordan. Like he's the only guy who's ever come out.
That's Kobe.
No, but Kobe didn't have that hype. I'm saying the people who came out of high school as a hyped. This is the next.
Like Kobe had that hype. I feel like Kobe had that hype.
No, Kobe was hyped too, though.
Yeah,
Kobe was hyped, but Kobe didn't start the first 3 years in the league.
Yeah, but he was 17.
I think Kobe should have been in college for those first 3 years.
100%. The dude made the All-Star game as a sixth man. So there's that. But what I always tell people
probably the second dopest debut sneaker ever. Those Crazy Eights were so dope.
Crazy Eights.
I love the Kobe's.
Yeah, they were so sick. The best one I think was Anthony Hardaway's first sneaker was amazing.
Yes, agreed.
Remember those? I mean, those were amazing. Air Pennies. Wow.
Yeah, love them.
They were. Yeah, you're too young. You didn't like them.
Young.
Oh, they were like, dude. I mean, they were so light. When they came out, they were
like the first like composite material that made them super light.
Yeah.
But let me just go back on LeBron real quick.
Yeah.
That dude does not get enough credit of the person who he is. I don't always agree with him politically and that kind of stuff, but that dude is still with his wife is the woman who he dated in high school.
Class act.
Has all the same kids, all the same mothers, never a scandal, has a free charter school in Cleveland, or I don't know exactly where it is. It's in Ohio, Akron, I think, where his hometown, where he has paid for, I think, 158 college educations. Like, you think about that. You think about all the money that's in all the, like, the Detroit Pistons could buy the city of Detroit and flip it over and make it right again. This dude does so much for the community, for the game of basketball. He just doesn't get enough credit. With that said, he's still not better than Kobe. So
I'm with you on that. I'm more of like a Kobe guy, just like his energy, that black mom,
yeah.
Type of vibe.
Listen,
like LeBron, he has me questioning if he's better than Michael some of these days now. Sometimes I don't know.
Some days it's like I think he is. Other times it's
listen.
The thing is, you can't go wrong. If you have a top 5 pick, you're not going wrong. Because Shaq and Kareem.
It's like an everlasting cycle. It's never gonna like.
I watched this guy going around asking people who's better, Michael or LeBron. And if your child's about to listen to this, go away. And the guy goes, I got two situations for you. He goes, you're a guy, you go over to a girl's house 10 times and you hit it 4 times.
Yeah.
Or you're a guy who goes over 6 times and hits it 6 times. Who's the greatest of all time?
The guy you just mentioned last.
Yeah, 6 times, 6 for 6.
I remember that was a college kid on YouTube. Did someone say that? I remember watching that as a kid.
Yeah, I remember. Just put in perspective. But the Kobe thing, what was so sad about the Kobe thing is that I think that guy had so much more to give to basketball from the standpoint of, I think of the 3 guys, Michael, LeBron, and him, I think Kobe was the least talented of all 3 of them. Mm-hmm. But I think he worked harder than all 3 of them did. And like his workouts are legendary for length and intensity.
You know what's funny?
Go ahead.
To bring it around to like bring it this, like your father, the same kind of thing. Like once he hit a certain level of like I'd say wisdom and age, he brought back into like you didn't. I mean, watching him, like you said earlier, you didn't see how technically he was till I think till recently. I'd say the last 5 years with him like slowing down and showing what he does. It's like, holy fuck, this dude wasn't just a killer swinging for the fences. There was like the stutter step, the hop, the hook. There was a method to everything, and then like all that footage came out, and you see like, oh, this dude wasn't just like. There was natural athleticism, but he worked nonstop for 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, 100%. And developed these rhythms. And I think Kobe and now your father, he teaches that to people. People, you see him teaching Henry Cejudo and other whatever. And it's like I think that Kobe would have been able to do that as he got older, where it was like the give back stage in life, where it's like, hey, like this is what I did. And you're like, oh wow, this motherfucker can break it down too. Like it's not just like some people can't. And like that's what we were talking about earlier. Like Mike Tyson, like. the way he breaks it down is so wise, and like his history. Like sometimes I see these interviews, I'm like, this motherfucker's watching boxing from the 30s, like 40s, and it's like
the thing about the peekaboo style, bro, is it's like it's made to be like if you do it right, it's made to be like powerhouse, ferocious, plum. Like that's what it's designed to do. Bad intentions, but it's all science to it too. You know?
Yeah, it's like the rocking, but I'm saying it's the technique to utilize it. Yeah.
You know, like it's supposed to be explosive though. That's one thing about it. Like that's what he wanted. Because
1,000%, but what I mean, there's like it's not just a dude coming in like I don't want to criticize Deontay Wilder, but like Deontay Wilder's just 100% athlete. He has some technique, but it's just like my man's just throwing hard, and he's built like Soda Popinski from the video game Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Like he's just like throwing for the fence.
Can you show Amir your walkout shirt?
Which one?
Do you have?
Yeah, I do. Hold on.
All right.
Let me see it.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, go get it, and we'll just chit chat. But yeah, so we're looking at like how old are you right now?
I'm 25.
25, bro. Enjoy that youth. Oh, 26 comes real quick. You know what I'm saying? But what? So you have Cage Wars is you're gonna be working with them. Do you have any other clients like that you're working with other than the combat one?
I'm gonna work with BLK Prime as well.
Okay.
And eventually, I want to talk to the people at PFL. I think eventually I'm gonna do that, and then I have like a audition I'm gonna do with like UFC eventually too, because my dad and Dana are cool. So
yeah.
You know, I have to put I have to show them what I'm about. He could introduce me, put me in the debate.
Buddy, listen.
I'm there.
Yeah,
if you don't think everyone who watch the next UFC.
Right.
I guarantee you there's going to be a judge on there, and his last name is McCarthy.
Right.
If you don't think that's Big Dan McCarthy's brother, you're out of your mind.
Yeah.
Right? Never be ashamed of getting doors open to by your dad.
Not at all.
That's why I put my laptop and it's going to die. But that's why we do what we do, is to help our kids out.
Bro, this dude's on so many professional shows, and me and you are so fucking amateur.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's true though, bro. It's just like it's right. Like, you know, like you said, like people try to do stuff for everything. Like everything I do is for my kid. Like everything is you know what I mean? So it's just like my kid could use me for whatever to get ahead, but he has to work. They have to do their part. But like
man, you can't just come. I mean, I couldn't come off the street if I had the same connections and work in the UFC. Right? I sound like I sound. You know what I mean? I got constant bad sinuses, right? I'm never going to be a UFC commentator, right? You still have to have the skill work. Even though you get the door open, you still got to walk through and do the job. So,
and he's handsome. Handsome helps.
Yeah. Show him the shirt, bro.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Can you see it? No. This is from when Mike did his event.
You know what's crazy? I've always wanted to play that game, but I'm just like,
you never played that game?
That's too old of a console for me.
Listen, I have it at my house. When next time we're in Schenectady together, you're coming over and playing Mike Tyson.
I remember that was the second game I ever played, and it blew my fucking mind. I'm like, I remember like I fought Glass Joe, and I'm like, this is crazy. And I finally made it to Mike Tyson, and I'm like, this isn't even fair. Like, it's not even fair.
Mike Tyson used to beat my ass.
Oh, I never beat him. I never beat him.
Nope.
Everyone always told me like, people that are older than me and everything, they were just like, for late 80s, that's like, it was like people collecting Jordans, like people just were watching that.
Bro, that was the funnest game. They did such a good job on it. Like, it was so dope. The arcade one was really weird because like Little Mac was the same size and he was clear, and you had like little hands to like.
Was he going on like runs and stuff? Really? Like, would you guys see him train?
Oh, it would be like
when you win the first title, you go out and you run with your trainer behind you.
Right. Yeah. No, the trainer's in front of you on a bike. He's pedaling a bike.
Right.
And then it's New York City in the background. Yeah, and then it has the save code. Like on top, it would have so you have to copy down the save code so you could put that in the next time if you died or whatever, you could put that in next time and start the game from there. But if you lost the fucking code, bro, they used to have instruction booklets that came with the game.
How did you get the code back in the day, though?
You had to copy it from the screen. I wrote it in my instruction book, and then like when the game started again, you could enter the code in the game to like save. It's like load from a load point, and you have to put the code in. It'd be like 15 freaking jumbled, XYZ KYL is
Like,
5.
consoles are so different now. Like I have a PS4, PS4. There's like PS5s coming out now. And stuff like that. It's crazy stuff.
But me and my brother and I, we used to sit there and we would, the rule was I'd fight Glass Joe. He would fight the next guy. I would fight the next guy. We just
What's up?
And then
Last Joe was the whack one. You knocked.
Oh, super whack. Yeah.
Super
it was
whack.
like easy. Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Then when I got older, I rebought the system, and my friends and I would come over, we'd drink, and we just do the same thing. So it's such an iconic game.
Yeah.
And then I remember there's an old video game store in town that sells old Nintendo games. I bought Punch Out. I didn't notice it was not Mike Tyson's.
Oh yeah,
Mr.
Dream. It was Mr. Dream.
Mr. Dream, right? Yeah. At some point, they lost the licensing for it, and your dad wasn't in it anymore.
Yeah.
It was
I think it was like a 3-year deal or something.
Yeah,
it was already a 3-year deal.
Yeah, Mr. Dream. It was fucking stupid. And then what the hell was I gonna say though? Ever see the commercial for it? When your dad's in a chair, he spins around, he's like, he's like laughing, like it's wild, man.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
like, that's what people were watching on commercials back then.
Dude, it was a different world, man. We're old. It was a different world. It was
when
cool tracksuit on.
When you watch like the UFC, do you like ever turn off the volume and just do your own commentary?
Do you know what I do a lot of times, bro? Like for controversial fights. In general, I'll do that too. Like I'll practice commentary, but for controversial fights, I'll judge it myself without hearing like fans and people screaming, and judging, and then you'll actually judge it differently. Like the Shane Mosley Oscar De La Hoya fight. Like if you look at it, like if you listen to it without sound and just listen to the fight, you'll be like, okay, yeah, Shane won the fight. But if you just look at it and like you listen with the sound and the commentary, you'll lean towards Oscar. You know what I mean? That's what I've noticed was different. I don't know, different fights.
Yeah. Do you ever have like you ever kind of feel like you want to get into judging or refereeing or be like
never wanted to, but I just like I for like controversy as a fan, as a boxing MMA fan, like I'll judge on my own. I'll be like, let's see how I would have judged it. On occasion, I don't do it all the time, but like on occasion, let's see how I would judge it.
Yeah, definitely.
What's some of your favorite fights that like recently? Some of your favorite fights that you've watched and.
Oh, I thought you meant of all time. I was about to say.
Either answer, man.
I like Hagler Hearns a lot.
Okay.
They went nonstop for a long time. I like. There's so many good fights.
I think I watched last Cage Wars or last time I was in town. I think I watched that documentary.
Jose Castillo versus Corrales.
Mm-hmm. So boxing's your number one combat sport, you'd say?
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely. I mean, that's a whole different. And you got to see it behind the scenes in like a whole different way than most people. Yeah.
I love the boxing world, but I love the MMA world too. I just like fighting. I love watching fights.
Same, man.
So give us your Mount Rushmore boxing and then MMA.
Okay, so four.
Yep.
Let's say I'm gonna do two heavyweights and then 2 non-heavyweights.
Okay.
So I would have to say Ali and my dad, just for.
You better put your dad in there. Or you're not getting anything for Christmas.
Yeah, Ali and dad, just off their like what they did in their prime at their height of their career, plus like the impact outside of it, and then I like Sugar Ray Leonard a lot. I feel like out of the 4 kings, like he came out on top. And then I grew up. Floyd's the defensive master. You know what I mean? Like that's the boxer I grew up on. Growing up childhood, I remember like how big like the whole De La Hoya Mayweather fight was and everything like that. I was a big Pacquiao guy too. Like I don't know who would between him or Pacquiao would be my 4th one. I don't know.
They ruined that fight by not having that fight when they should have.
It was terrible, man.
They should have had that fight 5 years earlier.
I think Pacquiao would have done something to him.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
I don't think he was hurt. He had a rib injury or something that during that fight.
Shoulder. You saw the circle in the middle of the fight.
Yeah, it was something happened,
But Floyd was the master.
They both knew it. They were going out. I mean, they both kind of went out for.
Well, it's still a paycheck, man. That's still.
I think it's what Floyd did on purpose.
Listen, Floyd got the Canelo before Canelo was ready.
Yeah.
Like, I think Canelo now fighting that Mayweather back then wins easily. Mm-hmm. Like Canelo now is a monster.
Yeah,
like
but even Canelo's slowing down a bit. Even Canelo, his last fight, he's
starting to slow down. Yep,
he's still a pound fighter.
Yeah, definitely.
Still top 10, easy.
Okay, MMA. What's your Mount Rushmore? And like I said, doesn't have to be the top 4. Just personal.
I like John Jones, Fedor when he was at his best. I'm trying to think because, off impact and stardom and just like influence, like it's a big star, like legend, like figure. Connor's.
I agree. This is mine too. Right? Verbatim. This is why I picked so far.
I mean? Like, not everyone likes him. Not everyone. He's a very polarizing figure. Like a lot of greats have been when they're in their career. But like at the same time, you gotta give him his respect. He opened MMA to a whole different world.
Yeah,
and just like and it was already getting faster rising sport. But he just made.
If I could hop on that, why I picked Connor for the exact same reason. Right. I've never seen, especially in fighting, someone call their shots coming up and do it each time. Like I mean, Ali did it first. Well, I guess you're but I mean, you're right. But MMA, I guess I should say, because I'm not as well versed in boxing. But like in MMA, you had like guys like Chuck Liddell was like super exciting and dominant, and having like 2 defenses. But it was just one kind of punch, and most time it was kind of, I don't want to say boring, but like most of it was kind of unexciting. Like Chael talked a big game in for Chael Sonnen, and Chael was the best talker, but then kind of delivered boring fights for the most part, except for him in the Silva fight was absolutely incredible. But like Connor came out, was like, I'm going to fucking do this. Right. And it was, every fight was like, this is the best fight I've ever seen. And that's what,
Connor, like once you got that Floyd Mayweather money, like,
100%.
We all would do the same thing. Like,
I've had this exact same conversation. I said the exact same shit where like, you can't, like, it's the old boxing adage. Somebody said, it's hard to get up and run 5 miles or 10 miles and get out of silk sheets. Like, once you get there, it's like,
right.
I have 5 fights, and once I kind of got bored with it, I've been getting my ass kicked ever since. Because like it was really fun, kind of like the first couple. Then I'm kind of like, man, this is a lot of fucking work. I like eating. Like, so like, I'm not training this hard. Like,
Georgia.
What's up?
It's ever since you moved to Georgia.
Oh, that's true, exactly. Well, yeah, I've just been
underneath the tutelage of
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, but and that's a small microcosm. I'm just saying of like, man, once you get a little bit out of your head and you're not focused, it's a whole fucking different game. And I'm fighting super low level. Like these dudes are in the cutting edge, whatever. Like even Connor, people come back like he sucks. I'm like, no, he's still fucking amazing. It's just
most
90%, 99% of the people.
Bro, he fucked up Cerrone. I mean, is Cerrone past his prime? Yeah, he still fucked up Cerrone though.
Cerrone was in that movie last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was one of like the security in the bank. Jonathan Majors was like, "Hey, blue eyes," and pointed a gun at him. So yeah, Cerrone was in that movie. It was pretty funny.
I'll say, as a featherweight, he was a legendary fighter, but as a lightweight, like he just like it's past his best. He's not the same anymore.
Yeah.
Did you give us a 4th one?
No, I cut him off.
I was gonna say Khabib off just like pure like dominance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dominant guy.
I think I'd go GSP instead of Khabib, but Khabib is super.
I forgot GSP.
It's hard, man. Yeah, it's like
MMA
and
tough
Silva. And Silva is. I mean, Silva was just.
Like I cannot forget Silva.
We are now demolishing Mount Rushmore.
I feel like I'm disrespecting him by not.
It's hard because they're not in your face anymore. So it's like I do the same thing every time. Like and then it's like. You have to go with a guy like Fedor. I mean, it was 29 fights undefeated. I mean, 10 years and stuff. But it's like
I got a problem, Fedor.
This is my list now, right? Yeah. So I have Fedor,
Fedor,
Khabib, and Anderson Silva. But Connor would be the 5th one just off impact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of Fedor in terms of dominance because of. We had a dominant section of MMA and heavyweights where for the first time in history in the UFC, there was 10 solid heavyweights, and we didn't see Fedor fight any of them. We
What do you
also
think would happen?
what's that?
You think he would have beat them? Or
Listen, we're Fedor was never tested. Hold on, wait.
20 seconds.
You're out of timeouts. You're out of timeouts. Fedor was never drug tested, so we could put them in the steroid era of MMA. I don't think Fedor beats Brock Lesnar juice to the gills before his diverticulitis illness. I don't think anyone beats that dude.
Brock Lesnar is a freakish type of build. Like most people are gonna lose in a wrestling match.
I mean, what's Fedor gonna do? He's gonna triangle Brock. What neck? What he's gonna Kimura him? What arm? Like
and
that dude was
steroid era.
Yeah, when you're allowed to. Well, Pride. Joe Rogan said. Pride said in the contracts we do not test for steroids.
Yeah,
that was
Pride said it.
Entertaining stuff. Right
go watch old Pride fights. You see, they're on steroids.
I might do that after this,
bro. Vanderlei Silva was like fucking like, and it's like he was the scariest man a lot. Like, well, aside from your fucking father, like, Vanderlei Silva. Top 3 scariest men ever to walk the earth. Like he would sit there like this, and then just come out and just like,
ready for war. That was probably him getting like
he warms his wrist up. He
gets
his wrist warmed up, and then like he just stands there and like stares, and then he'll just come out and just like try to. He was scary because Pride, you could stomp the head.
Soccer kick,
and like
even now.
No, UFC Pride like 8 years ago, 10 years ago.
Yeah,
but in one, I think you can soccer kick.
Yeah, one you can soccer kick
kick still. Yeah, so
but there's a famous fight with Rampage and who was was that Vanderlei?
Yeah, it went to the
love Rampage Jackson.
Oh, bro, me too.
He was being triangle and he picked him up and power bombed him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Knocked the guy out. Real quick though, with the Fedor thing, why I give Fedor the credit because Tim Sylvia was the heavyweight champion UFC, left while he was still like right after he lost. Fought Fedor, and Fedor fucking demolished him in 20 seconds.
100%.
Like, beat the fucking brakes off. Until Tim Sylvia was a dominant champion for a while.
But let me.
And now I believe Tim Sylvia's coming to Vermont. So.
Okay. Yeah, well, Tim. Unfortunately for Tim Sylvia, like he can't. Like 2 years after that, he couldn't get cleared. He had too many white spots on his CAT scan from his head. He had so much CTE.
Yeah.
Like.
Also, it was obvious even when he was.
He was fighting someplace in. Maybe Turning Stone or something like that. And after a certain age, you have to get a CAT scan, and they wouldn't pass him, and he was done, unfortunately.
You know what's crazy with all that, bro? Like I feel like people like OJ, Aaron Hernandez, people that are like Chris Benoit,
Junior Seau,
they just get really violent and they just can't control it. When at first they're not real, they're violent in their sport, but they're not really violent outside. They get hits in the head. And then you just see them committing. But I feel like a lot of it has to do with brain trauma. I'm not excusing what they did, but a lot of it has to do with brain trauma.
1,000%. There's actually, I was watching on YouTube. It was a documentary, or I forget exactly. I'm butchering this, but there was another wrestler who like left wrestling because he got a pretty bad concussion. He was a good wrestler, and he became a neuroscience.
So he was Chris.
He got a hold of Chris Benoit's brain. Yeah, and he got Chris.
And he was a Harvard graduate.
They were like, it was fucking.
Yeah,
exactly what you said.
CT'd out, probably.
Yes, and they were like, they're trying to bring that to the forefront because, like you said, it doesn't excuse it, but it shows us why, and that the fucking dude doing diving headbutts for 25 years off the top rope.
Yeah,
it's going to cause some damage. We should look into this shit. So, like, same thing with football, combat sports. I think, like, combat sports, sometimes I feel it's a little less in some ways because. No, maybe not. I don't want to get that.
So the science says that MMA or small glove Muay Thai, whatever, is healthier than boxing and football. Because
isn't that crazy to think about?
Because you like if you look at like
the switch turns off, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but because it's so easy to knock people out with small gloves, and is you look at those fights. Who was it? The guy. There's a movie about him, the fighter.
I was watching a fight with my dad recently with Ray Boom Boom Mancini and the South Korean dude.
Yeah.
And he was like the golden boy, like movie star type, Hollywood type of vibe. Like kind of like an Oscar, like Ryan Garcia. Like he was that type of vibe. And then like he killed the guy in the ring and his whole it can never be the same after, even though he didn't to, but like
but those guys take 500 punches to the head at night.
Mm-hmm.
Like you think about that with that much power behind them, that's gonna cause some damage, man. Like
Ali.
Yeah. You can't tell me that wasn't
think of the most charismatic person you could. Vibrant as can be. So many hits to the head.
Yeah.
Shelled himself.
Especially towards the end of his career. And it's a shame we lost out on his prime with the Vietnam War and that whole, him not refusing to be drafted and that kind of stuff. And he missed out on his prime, man. Like
great message though.
That gave him more respect and love around the world.
100%. But you know what I mean? I would like that dude's in the top 5, like we talked about before.
Yeah.
You must be pretty grateful. I mean, your dad doesn't seem to have any kind of symptoms from that stuff.
Like people like defensive oriented.
Yeah, man. Like it's just a cautious tale about people who take too much damage. Like, man, you gotta work on that defense.
Ali, when before the Vietnam thing, he wasn't getting hit. He wouldn't have had any damage to anything. But when you're facing like George Foreman, Joe Frazier, Ernie Shavers, like some big bad boys, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he's gonna throw some leather at you, and he would take them like it was nothing.
Yeah, he was. That was just
the brain felt something though.
Yeah, you watch that rope-a-dope, man. Like Foreman that was Foreman, right?
Murderous shots. Like,
and listen, like one of the things they teach you when you're refereeing like MMA, if the hand's here and you're still your head is still absorbing a punch, even though there's a pad there, you're still receiving that damage. And man, like I definitely think the end of his career caused the neurological issues they had, man. That was
100%. George Foreman was one of the hardest punchers ever in combat sports history. Some of the hardest punches I ever threw were at Ali because he just like he hated him because he took the shot everything. So he was throwing punches and he's like, "Is that all you got?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm done."
There was I remember as a kid when Foreman came back. Foreman came back to fight again and won the title like 46 or whatever.
50, right?
Yeah, it was like late 40s, but there was a Sports Illustrated advertisement and a picture of a boxing glove like this on the page with a it says, if you want to feel what it's like to get punched by George Foreman, cut this out, tape it to your wall, and run into it. And it was
I'm good. I'm
funny, but it was like super funny. Like it's like smash your head against the wall. And it's like that's what it feels like to punch by George Foreman.
I'm good. I don't want any problems with me.
Yeah, I don't want any smoke.
Even now he's like 60. I watched him on YouTube fucking hitting stuff at like 60 something, and I'm like, well,
I know he's I feel like his born again Christian. I feel like it's very valid. He went through that and everything. But like I feel like he's still like you get him mad. It's still like
you throw a bottle at him in an airplane. I think he's gonna punch you too.
Yeah, he's gonna.
Okay, 100%, no doubt about it.
It's funny how these guys have.
It'd be weird to see George Foreman fight somebody at this.
Flip out. But to go back to the Cejudo and your dad hitting mitts,
right?
And your dad was hitting mitts. And I don't know if you've seen it. The one guy does like a breakdown of it.
Yeah.
Because the guy holding the mitts did not look like he really wanted to hold the mitts.
Oh, right.
Like he looked
cool. Very nice guy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? He looked
really cool dude.
Scared to hold mitts. And when your dad came back and announced Roy Jones Jr. and him,
right?
They showed him hitting a heavy bag, and that was the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. And
that went viral quick. I was like, yo.
Yeah,
that's the last time I realized, like when I was a kid, when I saw that the last 2 fights, the cameras and everything, and then I really was just like, whoa, he must have been a big figure because like look at all these celebrities that I'm growing up in my generation freaking out about it, like Eminem,
when that stuff was released,
all these different type, like Tom Cruise, like they were all hyped. I'm just like, damn. So back then he must have really meant something to these guys.
Yeah.
Dude, the coolest part was because like I remember like seeing him and he was kind of out of shape for a little bit. I remember he was like on some show and then he was on The Hangover. He was a little out of shape and then he kind of disappeared for a bit and he came back and he's like, oh, cool. Like he seems like in a really good place mentally and whatever. And then those videos came out when I'm like, holy, he looks the same as he did when he was fucking 20. Like
it was the quarantine and COVID, like people were scared to go outside. We didn't really know what was going on, a lot of confusion. So like, I guess he was just like turn him to like.
It was awesome. It was freaking great, man.
guess he was bored. I guess
I got the opposite, and I can't get below 200 pounds now. I mean, I was quarantine killed me.
Dude, quarantine
was the worst for my weight. Jesus.
I was like kind of weirded out. Like, what's gonna happen? This is like how life's always gonna be.
I was like thinking, I'm like, is this how the zombie movie starts? Like, this is the real zombie
Absolutely,
movie?
that's how it starts.
I thought we were getting there, bro. I was scared. I was like,
I remember reading like it was like Italy. They did the whole like shutdown thing, or whatever they call, whatever, and a quarantine. And I'm like, well, that's a real like Asia does that stuff all the time. Where you're like, okay, whatever. I know it's so far away. It sounds like I don't mean to sound rude.
Like 10 years, 20 years before.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be mean or anything.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't want to be mean.
When I would see someone from like China or someone actually from that, they would always wear masks. And I'm just like, what's that about? And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Yep. And then like, but I'm like, once I got to Italy, I'm like, okay, that's like kind of closer to us. That's only like a stone throw away.
China was welding people in their houses, like in their apartments. Like you had COVID, they weld your door shut. Yeah. Like that's crazy, man. Like that's crazy.
I'm good on China. Right? If I don't have any business there, I'm good. You're trying to set me up at or something.
What do you do outside of combat sports, bro? Like what's your like? Do you like Walking Dead? Do you like movies? Like what do you outside of combat?
Movies. I like hanging out. I like mingling with friends, family. I like going on dates with girls. I like.
There we go.
I just like different things. Things happen. I just. Traveling, I just like to have a good time.
On the dating girl scenes, because I'm married and he's engaged, so we're both pretty much dead.
I'm living for you guys. I got you.
We appreciate it.
I'll be in your guys' shoes soon. So.
When you date somebody these girls who are probably your age, do they know who your dad is, or do you have to explain it to them? How does that work?
No, like a lot of the times, like a girl won't even bring it up unless I do. Like we talk about our parents for some reason because they don't want it to seem like they're just talking to me for that. They don't want to have that impression. So like obviously people are gonna think that's cool, but most girls I've ever talked to won't bring it up and stuff because they're just like I don't want to be like that type of person. Like I connected with you, you know what I mean? But I'm sure
they know who he is.
They probably have thought like, oh, that's pretty neat, celebrity. I'm sure. But like, they won't say that to me because they don't want to,
Dude, that was my biggest worry about this interview. I didn't want to seem like a Mike Tyson mark.
I know.
I didn't hear Robin.
I said my biggest fear about this interview was I was going to come across as a Mike Tyson mark.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Fucking saying, dude. Obviously, I'm like,
nah, you're good. But like, like when it comes to dating and stuff like that, they don't really bring it up unless we talk about our parents somehow and stuff.
Yeah.
Background, family. Like
what about school? Did it like when they said like they see Amir Tyson, did they ever be like, are you Mike Tyson's kid, or did they never put it together?
Yeah, they put it together.
They put it together real quick.
They would put it together, but like at other times they'd be like, wow, like you didn't even brag about it or anything like that. I was like, no one asked me the question, so I didn't talk about it. Like a lot of times, like growing up, like my friends, like if we were somewhere, like my friends would talk about it, like between the parents, like, yeah, that's his dad, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not one to be like, oh, I'm Mike Tyson. So like, I don't.
I'd be carrying around business cards.
Yeah.
My dad bounced when I was 5. I'd be like, yo, I'm Mike Tyson's kid, buddy, right there.
You said it earlier. I think that was such a cool thing.
I still want to come across like an asshole or anything.
Yeah. Or like I think it's like because you don't. I mean, it's just your dad. Like to you, that's just my dad. It's not like, yeah, he's cool, but it's just my fucking dad. And then it's just like, it's weird to try to translate that to everyone else. You know what I mean? Like where it's just like this is just my dad. I mean,
facts.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because now, like my kids are getting to the age now where they've seen me flip out at something. You know what I mean? And that like before there was always, oh, that's just my dad. Now my kids know that there's a tipping point where dad flips out, and like
we all have that,
right? But like I scream at like someone in traffic, and they ask me to get out the car, and I'm more than willing to get out the car, that kind of shit. But like I couldn't imagine if my kids saw me on like TMZ, like, and they're like, oh, there's dad, and he's punching a camera guy in the face or something. That's like awesome. That. Like,
I mean, that's it. Like, the time they fucking deserve it. I mean, the people that invade his space, like the water bottle guy, like that.
Yeah,
you know.
I remember that was at that point in my life growing up. Like I wasn't alive like I wasn't alive for like the ear thing or anything like that, so I didn't really wasn't
It was
there
so
for that.
awesome.
But like pre-hangover, I would get a lot of those jokes. I'm not gonna lie. Before the hangover, like after the hangover, it was different vibes. But before the hangover, like I would get jokes like that. People
I hate being this family. Did you get to meet one of the tigers that he had?
Yeah, I knew all.
That's fucking great. I'm like, that's awesome.
They were in my backyard and stuff.
That's what I'm saying. That's crazy. That's awesome. That's amazing.
You ever have to get like warned, like don't get eaten like Omar or what?
Omar is the lion. That's what they said in the movie. Yeah, Omar.
Oh, that's freaking funny.
A lot of people don't know that, but they wrote Omar because that was one of the other cats.
That's
awesome. Really? Was it really one of their names? That's awesome.
Omar was the lion. Yeah.
Now the guy that's in the movie, is that a real guy or is that just an actor?
Oh, you talking about the guy that was acting like his security or something?
Yeah.
No, that's the actor, but he was portraying probably someone in my dad's crew. Like,
yeah. Like what's your like I said, we don't mean to get all into your dad's business, but what's your dad like when he's traveling? Like, does he have a crew or like an entourage? And what about you? Like the videos I saw, you got some real close, tight knit friends that around you. So
say it again.
I said, according to that video I watched, like you got a couple of real close knit friends.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
like,
I got friends that I'm close with. I have I have friends. I have great acquaintances. I have like different levels of friendships with different people I come across. But like, I'm the type of guy like I don't cause beef for anybody. It's all love. If you respect me, I respect you. If you show me love, I'll do the same thing. But like you said, like everyone has a tipping point. If I feel disrespected, I'm gonna show you the same thing back. That's how.
Listen, you're speaking to a guy who knocked out a senior citizen one time. So
yeah, we talk about that. We talk about this every week. All right, listen, the guy had it coming. The guy had it fucking coming. So like,
see, I already know that the guy was doing something because you don't seem like you're just gonna do a Connor and just punch.
No, I have a short fuse when I'm disrespect. When it's like I'm super chill, but when it comes to like a certain area, it goes real quick. You know what I mean? Like, and the guy. He tried to hit my car with his fucking bicycle, and I'm like, bro, you gotta like leave, get away from my car. And he wouldn't, and he hit me through the fucking window. So I'm like, all right, now it's on. Like now,
poor guy had to pick up his dentures and his AARP.
Oh yeah,
card.
bro. I mean, he had the bike on him. I mean, it was like when you hit me when you push me to that limit, I'm like, we're not stopping. Like, I mean, it's like
he's not even mad if he's 65 and 0.
I didn't even care, bro. He was definitely late 50s, and I'm like, I don't even care. I'm like, I'm 41. I'm not even young, so it is what it is.
Yeah, you both are.
Yeah, we're both plus 35. We're it's like
both Gen Xers.
Yeah, exactly. But like.
It's funny when this happened. He called me like, "Hey, I might not be coming to class tonight. I might be arrested."
Yeah, I'm like, I gotta lay low for a little bit. It was broad daylight, middle of the street. Like, I mean, it was like middle of the day. Like,
oh yeah, the cops were definitely looking for your ass at that point. If it was the middle of the day, they definitely were just like, "Where is this motherfucker?"
Right in the middle of the But yeah, it's one of many. But anyway, what was I gonna say? So yeah, that's what we do in our free time.
So you don't really get a whole lot of that. You don't get a whole lot of people disrespecting you or anything like that, or bringing up stuff.
When I was younger, kids are more prone to say things. Like people now know better. They know like, Amir's probably gonna fuck me up if with people I know, I can handle myself better than they can handle me.
Sure.
So like. People are smarter at this age, but when you're younger in high school, people have looser lips.
Yeah, and everybody wants to test and push boundaries and
try
to be cool.
Early college too.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, you're
really.
I've gone in fights and saw people trying to like make a name for themselves or to start an issue just so they could be like, I beat Amir tight, like but I can't let that happen. I had an extra mark on my shoulder to be like, nope, can't let that happen.
See, I'm
even more dangerous for them.
It's like the water bottle guys. Like, what are they thinking? They just think they have something to.
Oh, I don't understand what like we said before. I don't know where that guy thought he was gonna like. I don't know if he wanted a lawsuit or.
I think he just was drunk and took it too far. Is what he looked like. He was just
a drunk guy that like he was just a drunk. You know what I mean? It's that people can drive. No problem with people drinking. People do that.
Yeah.
I do that from occasion, but this guy was, from what I've heard, was like reeking alcohol. Even before getting off the plane, he was talking shit.
You could see it in the video. He just was like that sloppy,
Yeah,
sorry. No, I was gonna say. I was gonna try to. I don't want to keep. We don't have a lot of time left for you. I know we're keeping you so long. When you go to Philly, like, I know, like you got. Have you done?
Immediately when I get.
Yes, yeah. So I knew he was gonna. Nels asked about Nels' biggest things is Philly cheesesteak. He was gonna ask that.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
We're working with Tim, who's the owner of Cage Wars. We're working on with him to try and get Rich and I to go down to a Philly card, and we want to basically tour all the gyms and also tour the Philly cheesesteaks places.
Let's get it. Let's all do it together.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If obviously it won't be this one, but maybe I don't know when the next Philly card is.
I'll see you in July. I'll be in the Skankity card in July.
Yeah,
so I'll be that one. We'll hook up there.
Like I said, when you're here in July, anything you need, just let us know because so my gym is literally 5 minutes from the casino.
Right.
So anything you need, just let us know. We'll get you where we need to go, and food or well, Rich doesn't have any female companionship anymore, so but we'll find something for you. Look at you shake his head.
Yeah.
Amir, it's been great getting to know you, dude. I can't wait to meet you in person one of these days. Do you want to give any kind of like shout outs or like what you're going to be on next?
Stay tuned. You'll hear and see more of me. That's all I know.
Yeah.
What's your Instagram?
What's your Instagram?
Amir AMIR _J_ Tyson.
There you go. Everyone go out and follow Amir. Like I said, this is the next big thing.
I already did it.
That sports, bro. When you're commentating at UFC, make sure you give Rich and I cage side seats. I just want to be hooked up. I'm 6'5", bro, so I'll be security, whatever you need, and we'll hang out.
Sounds like he handles it himself. So
let's
do it.
Thank you so much, man.
He's handling stuff himself, man. Let's be honest to that.
But yeah, much love, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much for being gracious enough to come on. I appreciate it. Can't wait to meet you, man.
We'll do it again real soon, all right?
Yeah, keep me updated.
Will do.
All right.
Peace.